What's going on, everybody? We're back again today for Ride Along Sports 100-team countdown as we're counting down the days to the college football season. The target date, August 31st, which is the Week 1 Saturday. But today, it's May 26th, 97 days away. The 97th team on our list is the Marshall Thundering Herd from the Sun Belt Conference right there in Huntington, West Virginia. They play right here. Jones C. Edwards Stadium, 30,475 capacity. It opened back in 1991, just in time for the season that year. But the first time that Marshall ever stepped foot on the gridiron, way back in 1895. But if we fast forward all the way back to 2024, Charles Huff still at the helm. He's entering his fourth season there with the Thundering Herd. So let's look back at last season. It was disappointing. They had a disappointing 6-7 season, which included a loss in the Frisco Bowl, 35-17 to UTSA. And this is coming off the backs of the 2022 season, where they finished 9-4 with a Myrtle Beach Bowl victory versus Connecticut. So 2023. Season fell apart, and really this happened after winning their first 4 games. They went on a 5-game losing streak and only won 2 of their last 8 regular season games. The defense pulled their weight. They were the only thing really giving the team any sort of relevancy. They pulled their weight around, but the offense, they just couldn't establish a rhythm. There were 4 games where they scored less than 10 points, and that includes a shutout at South Alabama, and that's embarrassing. But as you know, if an offense or a defense or a special teams or a team in general has a great defensive effort, offensive effort, special teams effort, or a full team effort, it's the coach that really gets the benefit of that. Lance Guidry, the defensive coordinator there at Marshall, was hired by the University of Miami, and Jason Seymour is on his way in from Georgia Tech to fill that role. So the defense is going to be covered, but let's look at the offense. What is Marshall doing to rebuild this offense? Well, they have 24 offensive players from high school and the transfer portal that are on their way into West Virginia, and they're hoping to make a huge difference in this depleted offense. Let's look at their recruiting rankings. The composite ranking is 103 overall. The transfer ranking is 63. They've really utilized that transfer portal as they should. You might as well take advantage of that. It's there for you to use. Their overall ranking is 80. So Marshall looking to turn it around, looking to have a winning season and have more of what 2022 was in 2024. But before I leave you today, I would be absolutely remiss if I did not mention this, and that's the tragedy that occurred on November 14th, 1970, where 75 people, including 37 players, 8 coaches, 25 boosters, and the crew of Southern Airways Flight 932 perished in what is known as the worst tragedy in sports history, at least in the United States. They were returning home from Greenville, North Carolina after playing East Carolina, and as the flight was preparing to land in Huntington, West Virginia, despite hazardous landing conditions, the green light was given for the pilots to go ahead with the landing, and everything seemed to be fine from the pilot's perspective. They were using their instruments and readings in front of them. It was dark, it was rainy, it was a hazy night there in West Virginia, but they tried to land anyway. Didn't see any issues, no issues with the plane, but just before 7:40 p.m. Eastern Time, the airplane collided with some trees on a hillside. They were just over a mile from the runway. And just absolute devastation. Let's remember them today. Let's remember them as this football season gets closer and when we get into the football season. Let's look at this and let's be very thankful for what we have. Let's be thankful for each other. Let's be thankful for the the teams and the players that we support each and every week. So the team is memorialized through a memorial garden and a plaque at Fairfield Stadium, as well as a granite cenotaph at Spring Hill Cemetery. Additionally, the Student Union is provided as a memorial as well. It opened in 1971, just a year after this tragedy occurred. It's named Memorial Student Center. It took a long time for Marshall to build the program back. That rebuild was something unfathomable to an athletic director, to a college, to a fan base. It wouldn't be till 1984, under Coach Stan Paris, that Marshall would have their first winning season since before the tragedy occurred. So what are some lessons we can learn today from this? If you're going to take anything away from this video, sometimes there are way more important things than sports. I know that may be kind of cliche to say, but it's true. In a world full of NIL, pay for play, if you want to call it that, sports betting, incredible passion, and maybe the worst thing, and it could be also be the greatest thing, social media. Let's just remember that the people that play the sport that we know and love, that we support, that we pour our blood, sweat, and tears into, they're just that. They're people. They're human beings. They have families, they've got emotions, and nobody is invincible. Let's remember that. This season, when your team may not be doing so well, when players that we expect so much of, when they make mistakes, they have bad days, let's remember that they're people. They're not perfect as we're not perfect. So we remember the Marshall football team from 1970. Our thoughts are always with them. Our thoughts are with Marshall. Let's always have a tender heart for this school there. The thundering herd from Marshall, number 97 on our countdown. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned tomorrow. We'll continue the countdown. Peace and love. Have a great day, everybody.